Hello. Today is Friday. This is our math lesson. We're going to do the weekend review, which started May 11th on Monday through today, which is Friday. Today again, it is Friday, May 15th, 2020. You will not need any papers for this, but I do want you to pay attention because we're going to work with analog and digital clocks as well as practice counting again. Let's go to the next slide. On this slide, you see the number chart again. I know we've done this a lot, but I just want to make sure everyone knows how to count by tens and by fives and by ones. Let's start by 10. So everyone point to the 10 number on top. We're going to go down and count by tens. I'm going to underline as we do it. Let's begin. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. Very good job. Let's try that one more time. You ready? Okay, hang on a second. Let's begin with 10. Ready? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. Very good job. Now we're going to count by 5, so I'm going to erase that. Sometimes I forget to erase something, but that's okay. We're going to count by 5 this time. So let's start with 5. Point to the screen as we go along and say the numbers with me. Let's begin. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, and 100. I hope you were counting with me. We're going to do it one more time. I'm going to use a different color this time while I underline them. Let's start with 5. Point to the 5. Let's begin. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, and 100. Very good job. Very good. Now we're going to erase that and we're going to count by ones. But when we count by ones, we only do it one time. Remember to practice at home if you're in the car with mom or dad, or if you're just sitting in the same room with mom and dad. Have practice counting by tens, by fives, and counting by ones to 100 because in first grade, you're expected to count by 100 at the beginning of school. Then, very soon, they'll teach you how to count to 120. Okay? So we're going to underline again each number starting with 1. Point to the 1, please. And let's begin. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And let's just give a clap. Ready? Okay, let's do it again. Now let's continue. What's after 10? We go 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And we could clap. Now let's go on. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And let's give a clap. You ready? Let's go 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. And give a clap. Let's go underneath. Let's go 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. And let's give a clap. Let's keep on going. Ready? 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Let's give a clap. Ready to go on? 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. And let's give a clap. Ready? Let's continue. 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80. And let's give a clap. Ready? 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90. Let's give a clap again. We're almost there. 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. Good job. And we're ready to go to the next page. Please practice at home counting by 5s to 100, by 10s to 100, and by 1s to 100. Now on this page, we're dealing with an analog clock. An analog clock is the kind of clock you see on your left that we usually have in our classroom, but it's missing the hands. So we're going to draw hands to it on it. First, I'm going to take a red and I'm going to draw a big hand to the 12. And I put an arrow there so we know it's pointing to the 12. Now, I'm going to take a green and I'm going to take a little hand, make a little hand and point it to the 3. It's not as long as the one that's pointed to the 12. Now remember, if you have the long hand pointed to the 12, it's always o'clock. Now you'll notice next to it, I have a bunch of clocks. Let's see if one looks like that. Let's look at the first one. Nope, the little hand is not pointed at the 3 there. It's pointed at the 1. So that's 1 o'clock. Let's look at the next one. The little hand is pointed at the 2. Is the little hand pointed at the 2 here? Nope. How about here? Here we have the big hand pointed at the 12, so it's o'clock, and the little one at the 3. That's the same, isn't it? So it is 3 o'clock. Just like this one, it's 3 o'clock. Very good job. Remember, the hour hand is pointed at the 3. It's a short hand. And the big hand pointed at the 12. As long as the big hand is pointed at the 12, it's o'clock. So if you look underneath, it says it is 3 o'clock. Very good job. Okay, now let's try another one. We're not going to do a super lot because you're getting very good, I bet. Still, we need to start by making a long hand to the 12, starting from the middle. And that wasn't as good. It looks crooked, but it's pointed at the 12. That's the long hand. So we know it's o'clock because it's pointing at the 12. Now, I'm going to take one, start in the middle, and point it to the 6. We'll do it again because I think it's going to erase itself. Now, it's a little shorter than the green one. So that's the hour hand. So I'm circling the 6. Now let's see if we can find one over here that has one pointed to 12 and one straight down. Does that look the same? No, it does not. Does that look the same? No, it does not. How about this one? Nope, that's the one we just did. How about this one? The big hand is at the 12, but the little hand's at the 4. It's not the 4 there, is it? How about this one? The big hand is pointed at the 12th, and the little hand is pointed at the 5. Is the little hand pointing at the 5 on the big clock? No, it's not. Let's look at this one. We have the big hand pointed at the 12. We have that over on our clock. And the little hand's pointed at 6. And we have it in this clock, don't we? So it's 6 o'clock. And that's what this says here. 6 o'clock. Very good job. Keep on practicing at home. I'm going to the next page. I'm not spending a lot of time on this page. Let's go to the next one. Okay, here, this is an interesting page. Here we have a digital clock above the analog clock. Now look at the top clock. Here on the top clock, which I have circled in green, we're starting there. They did that for us. The big hand is pointed at the 12. So it's o'clock. And the little hand's pointed at the 5. So it's 5 o'clock. And look what they wrote underneath it. They did 5 ... 00. 00 means o'clock, remember? Now, let's look at the next clock that I put the green line underneath. Now look, they have the big line is pointing at the 12, so we know it's o'clock. The little hand is pointing at the 7. So I'm going to circle the 7. That means it's 7 o'clock. You're right. So watch how I do that. I write a 7. Then I put 2 dots. Oh, those did not show up very well. So let me try to do it in black. First I'm making the 7. Then I put 2 dots. Woo! And then okay, that did not come out very well. I'm not very happy the way I did that. So first, I'm going to make a 7. Then I'll make 2 dots. And after the 2 dots, I have 2 zeros. And I know it runs off the clock, but you get the idea. It should be 7 ... 00. Because it's 7 o'clock. Now I'm going to put the dots on the next of this one, okay? There are 2 dots. Actually, they don't come out very well on this, so I have to erase it again. Thank you for being so patient with me. Oh, now I have the 2 dots in the wrong place, don't I? Let's try it again. 1 and 2. They keep erasing, so I have a feeling this is not going to work very well. Okay, 1, 1 and 2. That doesn't work very well, but you can see them, hopefully. Now look at this clock, okay? First of all, the red one is the long one, and it's 12. The little one is pointed at the 9. So what o'clock is it? It's 9 o'clock, isn't it? Because the little one's pointed at the 9. So we write a 9 on this side of the dots, And then we make a 0 and a 0. And that is 9 o'clock. Okay? Now, let's go to the next clock. Here, we always have the big one, and it's pointed at the 12. The little one is pointed at the 1. Oops. So, it is 1 o'clock. Now, we think, how do we write that? We start with a 1. Oops, I wrote it in white. I meant to do it black. We start with a 1. We do a dot and a dot. That one came out better. And then do a 0 and a 0. Anytime we have 2 zeros, it's o'clock. Now I know it's off the purple, but you get the idea. Now, look at the bottom clocks. The first one, we have the big line at the 12 again. The little line is at the 2. So it's 2 o'clock. So down here, we need to write a 2 again. Do a dot, dot, and a dot. And we do a 0 and a 0. That came out a little bit better. Now, let's look at the next clock. Here we have the big line pointed at the 12. Oh, I mean to do red. The big line pointed at the 12. And the little line, line pointed at the 3. So it's 3 o'clock. So I have to think how I'm going to do that. 3. Oh, first I write a 3. Then I do a dot and a dot. And then for o'clock, it's 0 and another 0. 3 o'clock. Now let's look at the next one. We're almost at the end of this lesson. The big hand is at the 12. And as long as the big hand's always at 12, it's o'clock. The little hand's pointed at the 8. So it is 8 o'clock. So what do I start with? I start with the number 8. That's not very well. And I do 2 dots. Excuse me. And then I do a 0. 0. 8 o'clock. Now, the next one, I can't see all of what's underneath because my picture's covering it. So I'm going to write a little bit off of the purple on the bottom. The big hand is pointed to the 12. And again, I did the one color. And the little one is pointed at the 7. Whoops! I made a mess of that, didn't I? So the green one is pointed to 7. And I'm going to circle 7. So it's 7 o'clock. Now I'm going to make this a little off of the purple because I don't have enough space to write it otherwise. I first write, and I meant to use black again, a 7. Then I do 2 dots. I do 1 dot on top of the other. And then, oops, bottom dot keeps disappearing. A 0 and a 0. That makes it 7 o'clock. This is the end of our lesson. I hope you have a very nice Friday and have an awesome weekend. Bye, everybody.